Hi, my name is Faith Beltran, and in my presentation, I will be discussing the main key terms from Duhigg's article. These key terms are essential if you want to be in a successful group. The first term is group norms. They are the concepts and behavioral standards that people set when partaking in a group, which then leads to an unspoken influence upon the group. So, for example, I chose a picture of Earth, Wind, and Fire, their concert, because in the video, they are all engaging by looking at each other while singing and dancing, which shows that they're setting a pretty groovy vibe so the audience can feel that same type of energy. The next term that I have here is team's culture, which can be a positive or a negative outcome. When it is positive, the group is enforcing conversational order, which is allowing everyone to speak. And when it is negative, one of the group mates are interrupting people, causing everyone else to do the same. So Duhigg described the behavior as an unwritten rule. In other words, the energy the group created becomes reciprocated. It's like having siblings, and each one of them are being treated differently by you because of the unwritten rule you created. So, for example, one of my brothers and I, we constantly need to have a heated debate about something when conversing, and it's been like that since forever, and I don't know why, which explains that team culture term. The next term that I have is the collective IQ. It is the contribution and collaboration based on the group norms. In Duhigg's article, he explains how a group of psychologists from Carnegie Mellon, MIT, and Union College wrote in the journal Science of 2010 that the collective IQ is systematically measured through the intelligence of groups. And to emphasize on that, I used an example from a successful softball team. So the team needs to establish a comfortable environment with each other, which will lead to a spread of confidence, and from there, the team will flourish. Versus the other kind of softball team where there's only a few teammates who think that they're the best ones and outcast themselves, which is bringing pretty much everyone down. And that leads to a selfish team, which leads to losses, unfortunately. The next term that I have is social sensitivity. That is understanding how others are based on their group mates' body language. So it's like when you're being told a sad story, you naturally want to empathize, or we naturally empathize in general, and we consider their feelings by trying to give positive advice or just trying to make the person feel better. And lastly, I have the term psychological safety. It is allowing others to be vulnerable without making any judgment, as well as giving mutual respect. So, for example, when you have a significant other and you want to have great communication skills with each other, you want to practice psychological safety. So you guys are like both hearing each other out, giving that kind of mutual respect, and it will only get better from there because then you guys are being very considerate of each other's opinions. And that is the rest of my slide. Thank you.
Rejection doesn't mean you aren't good enough. It means the other person failed to notice what you have to offer. Mark amend. So what is psychological safety? It is a sense of confidence that the team will not embarrass, reject, or punish someone for speaking up. For example, when we're in a team, sometimes the leader will be very harsh, criticizing, and it makes other team members uncomfortable and scared to talk about their ideas and give their own input about a project. To avoid this, the formula for psychological safety would be interpersonal trust plus mutual respect equals people being totally comfortable with themselves. In the examples below, which group practices psychological safety? Group 1, where the leader is direct and straightforward, or Group 2, leader who panics over small issues and always tries to stay in control? We would agree that Group 1 is the one that practices psychological safety because although the leader is direct and straightforward, he does not make his teammates feel uncomfortable or punish them for speaking up. If we were to have a leader like Group 2, then everyone will for sure stay silent. When the leader is in panic mode, they are more likely to lash out at other teammates, which means that people would rather stay silent than be humiliated in front of other team members. Psychological safety is so important in a work environment because if we allow a open-minded and friendly environment, then new ideas arise, which create success within a company, a project, or other source of teamwork.
Hi, my name is Dora, and in my slide of the presentation, we'll be covering identifying positive and negative norms. In reading the article, I felt that norms play a very vital part in how we can succeed not only in our class, but our groups as well this semester. When reading the article, norms are defined as the traditions, behavioral guidelines, and unwritten rules that dictate how we function when we gather. When discussing the article within our group, we agreed that for us to succeed as a team, that balance and being open-minded can be a key element for equal energy. The following norms listed below are vital and can either make or break a group. For example, the amount of work should be equal. Every team member should have a say if they so choose to, and that turn should be respected and listened to until done. Remembering that there are no bad ideas and everyone's input is valued. Norms can lead us to having an overall positive experience and progress within our class. We also discussed negative norms and how they can severely diminish a group's progress. These norms should be avoided, and not just within our class and groups, but all classes overall. For example, interrupting, talking over one another constantly, having a bad attitude, unwillingness to cooperate, not doing their part of the divided work. These norms can lead to frustration and failure. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jessica Rodriguez, and I will be discussing guidelines for collaborating as a group. Like we read in the duhigg article, a specific set of guidelines make a successful group. We took these elements and applied them within our group. For example, it is stated that communication is essential. So we communicated our ideas and struggles without judgment. Take turns talking. We allowed each person to have input and share their ideas. We also set assignments. We discussed who was doing what part in their slide before we even got started on our project. We were willing to help each other. We let each other know that if anyone ran into any trouble, we communicated that we were willing to help and support each other in any way that we could. We allowed for different ideas and opinions. We considered everyone has a different mindset. We were also open-minded. We had calendars, agenda to keep track of our progress and to stay on track. We also brainstormed. We talked about our assignments while having personal conversations about our own personal experiences that could relate to the topic. We were also able to build connections to feel comfortable with each other, to give our feedback, to share our opinions, or to ask questions if we needed to.
My name is Sol Hernandez, and I will be discussing the slide how Team A and Team B correspond together. In the article, it explains how Team A's main focus is to be on task, keep it strictly professional, straight to business, no outside conversations that do not relate towards the main topic, and giving the main leaders the crown to talk one at a time. Team A believes that it's highly disrespectful to overstep or talk over other colleagues. On the other hand, Team B may have a different structure on how colleagues share their feedback and ideas. Team B is not too organized, but they do have a strong suit of believing it is important to be sensitive towards each member's emotions and opinions. Having a connection may be helpful to understand where each colleague stands personally. And when I say personally, I don't technically mean about their personal life. I just think it's okay to ask someone how they're doing and if they're okay. So we know that our other colleagues are on task mentally and they're able to collect all the data and information that everyone else is collecting. Overall, as a group, we have discussed which team may be best for this semester to be successful. We all have agreed that both Team A and B can be combined to provide strong strategies for all to be intelligent and have opportunity to share great ideas without others being closed-minded. It all falls back to how we can all provide our own norms and values to the table, such as having equal leadership roles, positive attitude and behavior, respectful to personal beliefs. Side conversations to discuss new ideas are highly important. Each idea or fact is valuable. And lastly, making sure we all motivate each other to become our best selves. And so we could complete this class with an A, of course.